Hello, JPO here again, back from a short vacation. I usually don't buy souvenirs, but I couldn't resist getting something from the trip. So this is the famous Martin de Candre shaving soap. So this is the original scent. I haven't tried that before. And of course a French straight razor with the emblem from this the region in France we went to, which is famous for their storks. And, so this was made specifically for, not sure if it's for Strasbourg or if it's given to the distributed through that region, or I'm not sure about the history, but this is from that area. Yeah, the symbol on the scales. So of course it's French, so you have to expect some imperfections. So this had a wide bevel on one side and some honewear on the spine there, to probably from the factory to do some corrections. On the show side it's more or less perfect, but yeah, you get, and this is the edge condition, the factory edge. So it's a heavily pasted edge. It's like a apple seed shape, which is yeah, for my beard not useful for anything, but if you have a light beard, or you can manage, maybe you can manage to shave with this edge, it looks good, but it's yeah, it's heavily convex, so it won't work with my beard. But usually these TI razors look much worse than this from the factory, so not sure if they have changed their procedure at the factory, or if this, yeah, I'm not sure. Looks quite good, so someone might be able to shave with this. I'm not sure if I would call it shave ready, but yeah, that's a different discussion. So I'm not sure what type of honing procedure they use. Probably some diamond wheels, or followed by paste, because it's, you can see some of the rougher marks on the bevel that is polished out to some degree. Yeah, so it's a typical French razor that looks okay, but even bevel, uneven bevel is an issue, because you want even wear on both sides, and with a wider bevel on one side, you can run into issues honing the razor, because you effectively need to do a little more work on one side. Yeah, so that's why I'm now using a convex stone to hone the razor, and I want to do a minimum amount of work on this to get it shaving again. And so it had a bevel, but it's yeah, of course it's convexed, so you need to remove a lot of some material in the middle of the bevel, and basically set a new bevel. So this Shirosita is convexed, so I'm using quite a lot of thick slurry to start with. Normally, if you use a flat stone, that will just set the edge back, because the slurry is breaking down the apex. But when we're using it like this, then the actual apex isn't even touching the stone, so you're working at the back of the bevel, and just to increase the efficiency, I'm starting with the heavy slurry. Usually I'm starting with the synthetic stone, but since this is a new razor, I just wanted to see if I could get away with doing the minimum amount of work I could get away with without putting more wear on the razor. So this Shirosita is removing material quite effectively, efficiently, and yeah, I'm using a loop to inspect the progress. So this is a 15x loop. I think it's 22 millimeter wide. So yeah, so this is I've done this a lot of times now. So for those who have seen my previous videos, this is nothing new. Just working with quite a bit of pressure. This grind is it's a full hollow grind, but it's much stiffer than your typical soling in full hollow, so you can lean into the edge a little more. Yeah, and it's also harder steel, so it takes a little more effort than your typical German razor. Yeah, and again, since there are a really wide bevel on one side, using a convex stone basically enables you to even out the bevel when you move to a flat stone as the finishing step, because then you're basically equalizing the bevel area on both sides, so you're evening out that difference. And the Niagara is Tenju. So it will be a mix of the slurry stone and the base stone. Base stone is quite hard for Suita. It's around level 4, so it's has a lot of range. So you can go from almost from bevel set to mid range, upper mid range, just with one stone. Yeah, and the toe also had needed quite a bit more attention to. Yeah, it was slightly overhoned on the toe, so. Yeah, and the next stone is also a Japanese natural stone. This is also convex. The shape is more or less the same as the other stone. This is finer, so I'm using a coma lagger on this one. Also starting a little with a little thick slurry. That's can be detrimental to use this heavy slurry if you when you get all the way down to the finishing or the down to the edge. Now it's working again a little from the back side of the bevel. And using quite a bit of pressure to work the back side. So this is also a really hard level 5+ stone, so you can really lean into the stone without much issues. Yeah, and even with this fine stone, you're removing material with this much pressure. So still doing bevel work at this stage. Yeah, it would be good to have a bigger stone for this, but yeah, this is what I have, and I don't want to convex any of my bigger J-nuts. It's more than it's suitable for this particular use. Yeah, again, just more of the same. And it's a Nakayama stone. The previous stone was also sold as a Nakayama. That didn't have any stamps, but yeah, good stones. So it really doesn't matter to me what hole they came from. Yeah, and the next stone is Shubudani. It's also this one. The next one is flat. So again, I'm starting with some Kuma slurry to just because there's still some work to be done on the, because now I'm working on the almost like creating a, it's not a micro bevel, but I'm now the full bevel is not in contact. It's not just the front part of the bevel, and yeah, I still need to do some work, and these Niagaras are not particularly fast, so this is also freshly lapped flat each time. I'm even lapping it between each step when I'm using my 2 Monagura for the finishing, just to get a flat and fresh surface. Yeah, and of course there's a French razor, so there's some geometry issues you need to take care of. You need to work the razor in sections. So I didn't want to do the doctor method on this, and so-called fix it. It's perfectly possible to hone it as it is without doing too much correction work. The show side was actually almost perfect, but the other side was had that typical S shape you get with these razors. So I'm not sure if it had been worthwhile to do some flattening on one side of the bevel. Yeah, so this is a size 100 stone. It's a really nice for hand holding and honing, and yeah, they're also reasonably priced, but would be really nice to have a full-sized version of this one. So really good steel on these razors, and I personally like bigger razors, but these 5/8 are also really fun to use. Yeah, again, this side is you have a large bevel, and the other side is a much more narrow bevel. So now I'm lapping the stone flat again and refreshing the surface. I'm doing this to make the stone cut more effectively, and yeah, it's also easier to generate a new slurry with a rough surface. Yeah, and also if you're struggling to generate slurry, it's actually easier to kick up based on if you don't have too much water on the surface. So I like to clear the stone, and most of the water is just from the slurry stone I'm usually soaking. Yeah, so now I'm just working on a narrow strip just at the front end of the bevel. So then the bevel shoulder is now not in contact with the stone anymore, and you more or less have a equal bevel contact on both sides of the razor. Then you don't have any issue with uneven abrasion on each side due to uneven bevel width. Yeah, there's also a little scratchy sound on one side of the razor due to the probably a small high spot on the spine, but it's easy to avoid that by just keeping that part of the stone. Dropping off some slurry and dipping the razor and adding some water. So now it's more or less finished soon. I could probably get a little more out of this by finishing with clear water or something, but yeah, this was more than sharp enough for what I like to use. I don't use these hyper keen edges anymore. Really don't need it. So finishing with the trace amount of slurry is gives me an edge that I personally like. Yeah, and I didn't have any 5/8 razors from tiers to start, so I have some 7/8 and 6/8. So this was a nice addition to my collection. Plastic scales, but you can get this particular 5/8, not this with the scales, but with wooden scales for actually less than you can. I would got this for. So really just a souvenir from the trip. Yeah, so that was finishing part. Also did some leather stropping, and as you can see, this is the final edge. This is the bevel shoulder, where you, since we're using convex stone, you get some concavity, and this brighter area here is the part that touches the flat stone. So the bevel shoulder, or most of the bevel is not even in contact with the stone. It's just this front part, and yeah, it's not equivalent to adding a piece of tape like someone thinks. It's yeah. So as you can see, really good steel, and yeah, this turned out to be a really good shaving edge. So this will not need to be rehoned for a while. Sometimes when you get a new razor, you need to hone it a few times to get the good steel, but in this case the result was quite good. So this was equal on both sides, so the uneven bevel I had is more or less not affecting the end result, because now the area on each side is more or less similar. The area that is in contact with the stone is similar. Yeah, so that might be an issue with uneven wavy bevels, that when the pressure is not even along the whole edge, then you on one side your area you're removing material faster than the other areas, and it's difficult to get a even consistent result. But now I'm basically creating a similar bevel on both sides, just on a smaller part of the bevel. It also reduces the warping effect a little. Yeah, so that was it. Thank you for watching.